talk about, being the starting quarterback for the show. Last time you played quarterback was probably in high school.
Well, live game action, yeah. I got a couple snaps last year in Indy towards the end of some games. Nothing really meaningful, like you said, other than high school. So I think the key word I would use for myself is excited to see, you get into the game. You can't really replicate that in practice of how you handle certain situations, how your guys respond to you in the huddle, that kind of thing. I think we have a pretty good feel for where we are and how we're going to come out and play. So I'm just excited.
What are your expectations? What have you been told about the environment and what game days are like here in Youngstown? What's your thought process heading in of what you think Saturday will be like?
Well, my expectations, I don't really get too caught up into that kind of thing where with the stadium, that kind of thing. I just focus on my job and leading this offense and trying to win, really.
You talked to Coach about what it's like for a new player to come in, and especially in a position of quarterback, where you have to command respect. What was that process like for you to come in here and to earn the respect of the guys around you?
The guys here made it really easy for me. At first, you come in the first couple of days of lift and you don't know anyone, but a lot of guys approached me, met me, and I'd say after the first week, it was like I'd been here for 4 years. That's just the kind of group we have in the locker room. We have a lot of guys that work really hard, and I'm really excited to get out there with them.
Both talked about environments. Obviously, you've been in great environments.
Mm-hmm.
So just talk about the importance of having that quote-unquote home field advantage.
Yeah, like I said, I don't look too much into the stands or anything like that, or the environment. You try to keep everything the same. But with that being said, with a program like this, one of the reasons I came is the tradition. And so when you think about the success that this program's had, the home field advantage, and you hear about the crowds that came out for the games in the 90s and things like that. You as a college football player, that's what you dream of. That's what you love. So, yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't sit up here and say that I'd love to have a packed house this weekend. So, we love that every weekend. But like Coach said, we got to put a product out there where people are going to come want to watch us play.
Part of any quarterback success obviously has to do with the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Who the quarterback is.
Yeah.
How would you say the offensive line has gelled this summer?
Yeah, we got a few new parts in there since the spring, since I got here. Obviously, Vitas is back. Gavin's back in the interior. Connor Sharp, he's done a really good job. Dan Becker's done a really good job. Then we brought in Charles, and him and Devin, they've been doing a good job at right tackle. It's going to be fun to see how those guys respond. And, I expect nothing less than – those guys work harder than anybody on the team, especially with Vitas and Gavin in there, those are guys who have a lot of snaps for this program. So I rely on those guys a lot because, like you said, I haven't played a lot a lot of meaningful snaps at quarterback since high school. So I'm going to rely on those guys a lot, to keep me in line and keep me and Vitas we keep each other in check. And I told him, if I mess up, you can chew me out because that's what I need. So we have a good relationship.
Obviously not giving anything away specifically, but could you explain the offense you're going to run and what we're going to see out there?
Yeah, like Coach said, I think we're multiple. We do a lot of good things. Obviously, we have Tevin coming back, Christian coming back. We're going to be able to run the ball. If you want to be successful in college football, you got to be able to run the ball and stop the run. So with Tevin and Christian, like I said, in our offensive line, we have those guys coming back in the interior. We're going to be able to run the ball, but with Coach Chris, I think we're doing a lot of. I'm not that familiar with what we ran last year. So I think it's going to be really multiple. We're going to be able to run the ball. We're also going to be able to throw the ball when we need to, and so yeah.
Young group of receivers, how they been doing?
Yeah, not a lot of experience coming back, but we brought in a few guys I know that are new to the program, just like me. We got Jeremiah, Shaq. Those guys have done a really good job. Kendrick, Sam. The list goes on. I could name plenty of guys who've shown a lot of good things in camp. I feel comfortable with all those guys, and I know that when the time comes, those guys are going to be there to make plays.
Since they're new, you're new.
Yeah.
By and large, how's the chemistry, timing, and all those things developed between you?
Yeah, from spring to now camp, we've been at it for a while now. So, I feel pretty good about each and every guy with the timing and stuff. We put a lot of work in the off season. throwing throughout the week, even when we didn't have practice and lift and that kind of thing. So, I mean, that's why we're Division I football players. We put in the work, and I know that those guys are going to be on the same page as me, and when the time comes, they're going to make the plays.
What are you looking forward to most? You mentioned it's been a while since
Yeah.
you've been under center for feeling the pressure,
Mhm.
game on the line kind of situations. What are you looking forward to most about doing that again?
Looking forward to the most. I don't know. I'm just excited to go out there and play. Like I said, you can't replicate that feeling. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of nerves. If there's not nerves, there's probably a problem. I mean, you got some kind of stake in it. You're going to be a little nervous. So just go out there and compete. And I'm most excited to win. So.
Your first year quarterback, Coach Chris, first year offense coordinator. How important was it to develop a relationship with him and, like they said, kind of gel together with him?
Yeah, quarterback and the offensive coordinator have to be on the same page, obviously. And one thing that I've always heard throughout my entire life being around football is that the quarterback's kind of the coach on the field. So I think me and Coach Chris have a good idea of what we want this offense to look like, and Coach Gans has done an incredible job with us to get our minds thinking like the coaches on the field. And we're not just reading players, we're reading the defense. And so he's done a really good job. And so that's my goal, is just be an attachment of them on the field and just do my job, get the ball where it's supposed to go to the right person every play, make sure we're in the right protection, run play, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Dad, being a college coach, talk about that and, how your guys' relationship is and
Mhm.
how often you talk to him about, things you're doing. Maybe not, X's and O's wise,
Mhm.
but being a quarterback, staying close, things like
Yeah.
that.
Throughout high school, he really kind of took a back seat and let me do my thing. And then once I got to Notre Dame, he was there. So I was the scout team quarterback, so we were going against each other every day. So, things could get a little heated every now and then. But since he was gone and we've been at different places, we have a good relationship, so we talk all the time. I talked to him the other day. They're preparing for Alabama week 1, so you can imagine how they got their hands full. But they're excited. He feels good about his situation. But, yeah, with him as a coach, whenever I talk to him about scheme and that kind of thing, he's so knowledgeable about football that I could describe something to him and he knows exactly what I'm talking about right off the bat. So, it's always good to have, somebody to go talk to outside of your own coaching staff, because sometimes, it's good to have an outside person to, a mentor, something like that. But our coaches here do a good job of, reiterating what they want from us. And so when I talk to him, it's more for support and that kind of thing. We don't really get into X's and O's too much.